Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. Well, we got the FMS 80mm F-86 here, the Sky Blazer, and we're going to put her together. Thanks to Hobby Zone for sending it out to me for review. Now, the nice thing about, we already got all the parts out. You already saw the unboxing. All the screws, all the same size. Okay, and which makes things very nice. Get yourself these little magnetic trays. They are just absolutely a lifesaver. I'm thinking these are going to be 2mm hex drives, and they are. So a 2mm hex drive wrench is all you need. And it says our very first step is to align the wing spar into the fuselage. So let's get our plane stand, our Ernst plane stand out. And we'll put our wing spar in. Says you need to undo this rubber band that holds these doors in place. Take that off. Slide in your wing spar. Okay. Then you're going to slide on your wings. Take 6 of the screws. Okay, you gotta push. Yeah. There's a little, okay. See this little lever here? There's a little lever there that wheel needs to push down. So you want to push that down to where that wheel will ride up on top. In other words, if you're looking down at it, the wheel is on this side of it. So push that down, slide that in. Go ahead and get that one in there. See, I like to be able to put my hand on the other side. Oh, that fits in there. Hear that squeak? Yeah, that's what you want. Nice and tight. You want that squeak. I'll do a wing at a time though. We are recording. Okay, good. Oh yeah, and it has a very obvious bottoming out point. 3 screws on each side, which is kind of cool. I haven't had one like that before. Usually it's 2 screws. Line up. Engineering. This is the thing. Engineering. Yeah, that's down there. All right. Let's get our other wing. Like I said, we're just doing the basic assembly, not the radio part. All right, gonna want this door to be up just a little bit. Okay, that's what it's gonna do. As long as it's wait a minute. Yeah, because that door is going to want to go down. Okay. So line that up in there like that. Okay. As long as you got the one wheel in place, the other one should be in place. All right. Yeah, see, that wheel's holding that down. So that's what you want. I highly recommend putting in that middle screw first because it lines everything up. These screws are very obvious where they go in at. Sometimes you have to use your own body to get things to line up right. Using that middle screw as a pivot point. Like I had to kind of pull this wing in towards the nose just a little bit to get that first screw to line up right. But that middle screw that's already in acts like a pivot to help you secure your wing. So, all right. Now, that wing is on there. Now we can turn our attention to the rear fuselage. All right. So let's let me turn this around where you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, you've got your one light right there, okay? So you're going to want to pull that. That's your tail light. Has that little channel it's in right there. I'll undo that, okay? And in here, everything is labeled. Labeled elevator, labeled rudder, okay? So, it says you're going to want to thread the extension wire from the fuselage through the rear fuselage and align and install the rear fuselage to the rear front fuselage and correspond as shown. Okay, so somewhere in there should have another light extension. Sure don't see it. Unless that's it right there. Hold on. Because I can't imagine what that would be. Oh, that's indoors. Okay, that's indoors. So where's my light extension for my light? Unless it plugs into this somehow. Which, can't see that. Okay, hold on. Now, okay, so this goes into here. I'm going to thread the extension. Okay. Elevator. Thread the extension wire from the fuselage through the rear fuselage portion. Okay. You're going to take this up through here. Okay. And that little section there. That little channel that wire was coming through. I certainly can't seem to figure out how my light's going to hook up. Those are fished through there now. Alright, so that's through there like that. Okay. Strange. And you have to open these doors up. Okay. just use your thumbnail, pull open the doors, okay? Make sure your fuselage is nice and set right, okay? It says push that first one through the top there, right here. A very obvious point. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it over to do the bottom. Well, it says do the sides now. Alright, well, let's do the sides. Let's follow the instructions. Okay. Here's a very obvious hole where this goes. You can see the brass as I drop the screw. Okay. Before I do the other one, I'll show it to you. Okay. Now, if you look right up in here, in that corner there, there's a hole there. That's where that other one's going to go. And then there's one on the very bottom. It even has a little concave shape to help guide it in there. Okay, that takes care of that. I think we can close our doors back, our speed brakes, turn them all over. Okay, and we'll do the bottom. All right. So it has a very obvious, another concave shape. All right, so that takes care of that. Make sure flight control, place secure rear fuselage with a secure the. Okay, now we've got those through there. All right. I don't see anything about that light. That doesn't make sense to me. I may have to look at that. See anything about this light. All right. All right, so here. Now we're going to take our elevator. Okay. Align and connect the elevator servo plugs and the LED. Oh! Okay. All right. This is where you use this. Okay, you're going to grab the one, the pigtail here, that says elevator. Okay? One says rudder. Yeah, one says rudder, one says elevator. That three-prong Y, or actually I guess it's not a Y, it's kind of shaped like a Y. You're going to plug it in. Pay attention to your polarity. Anytime you're putting two servo extensions together, yellow to yellow, light to light, dark to dark. It's always going to be light to light, dark to dark. Has a little connection point, and the other one, little pigtail all by itself, is rudder. Okay? So we're going to take our two elevators, okay, We're going to plug it in. Remember, pay attention to polarity. I'm looking for, where's that third one coming from? Okay. That plugs in there. Okay. Pay attention to your polarity, light to light, dark to dark. Has a nice little satisfying. Now, anytime you're hooking up signals, okay, well, it just has two plugs, or two, in this case it's black and red. You're going to want to line up your dark color. Okay, so you're going to line these two plugs up to where the dark line up with each other. Okay? So in other words, your signal wire, or the red wire, is going to be in the middle. Okay? So let's go ahead. You've got plenty of room to lay that big tri-plug down. And you'll see you've got these, move this around. Got these three prongs here. Make sure you fish your wires through to where that doesn't interfere with how you lay down your elevator. You don't get them wires pinched. All right. So that's the wires up out of there. Let me just make sure. It looks like I'm getting caught on something up there. Okay. Get all that lined up. The only thing you should be lined down, should be going underneath that, is that red wire from the lights back here. The one I was so confused about. Should leave you a little jumble of wires right here. Okay? Little jumble of wires right here. Just go ahead and fish them around. Get them nice and tucked out of the way. There's enough room. Might have to be a little creative, but there's enough room. Turn the little servo extensions on their side if you have to. But just make sure they don't in any way don't appear like they're going to get pinched or anything. Okay? So let's go ahead. We're going to need 3 screws here. Or, I think, let's make sure. No, it looks like you're just going to do 1 screw right in the dead center. Okay? That's going to hold, because that when we put the rudder on, that'll secure the rest of it. Right there in the dead center. Remember, 1 screw for your elevator. 1 screw holds the entire elevator assembly in there. Okay? Okay. Again, you got a metal screw going into a metal housing. Okay? Love them. I love those sorry, I had my head in your face. Alright. I just love these hinges. Awesome. Alright, so the only thing left now is this last pigtail. Okay? Remember, you always, it says rudder, it's labeled rudder. Okay? You're going to line it up, light to light, dark to dark. Very obvious. You're going to feel a little click in place. Okay? Now, fish this last little pigtail down there in that cavern of wires. Okay? You may have to rearrange it a couple of times, but there is enough room. Okay? I'm going to fit that down there like that. And that's all going to fit together. Now that cavern wire is going to be a problem, so we're going to make sure everything is nice and snug in there. Just like putting pieces of the puzzle together. There you go. Now that's all nice and in there. I know all my wires are not in a binding point, so everything should be good. And you've got 3 screws left, and 3 screws are just what you need. So you get no extra screws, okay? So that's why I say use them magnetic trays. They are a lifesaver. Come on. That does not want to line up for me. I'll do one back here. Now, there's a little addendum in the manual that says to go ahead and hook up all your linkages before you put the wings and everything on. I don't agree. Now, I want to get everything put together and get my model all bound up and make sure my servos are all centered. All right, that one's obviously in there. Okay. Now I want to get everything bound up, make sure all my servos are centered and everything before I hook any control surface up. Just saves you a whole lot of trouble. Yeah, I like that. All right, last screw, and that is the very front. I may have to fight with this one, but let's hold on. Let me reconfigure my Ernst stand here. If you don't have one of these Ernst stands, and I'm not an affiliate with them, I don't sell them, but I will tell you, I am a big fan. Okay, get that. They're just very handy. That was wanting to fight with me. And when you know it's the last screw. Turn it this way, turn it that way. Okay. Alright. Now this is all plastic here, so I'm going to press down on that, really put some pressure on it. Feel that. Man. Yep. All right. Well, folks, let me pause it. I'll fight with it and we'll come right back. All right. I figured out what I did. When I looked at the instructions wrong, okay? When you add that fuselage section, they're showing screws going in from both sides. Well, the way I looked at it, I thought this screw was going in the very top up here, and that's not it. You do have one extra screw left over. That top screw is what holds this entire assembly into this front section of the fuselage. I was trying to screw that other screw, into a screw that was already there. And that's why it didn't work. So you will have an extra screw left over after all is said and done. I looked at the instructions wrong, because my point of view, it looked like it was going in from the top, and it wasn't. I'm thinking, no, this thing is too well designed to get down just having one screw left and it's not lining up. Okay. I'm just glad we figured out that light thing. That's going to drive me nuts. I mean, I could go dig for a wire somewhere that I can't find it. It can't be that. It can't have that obvious an oversight. All right. All right. Now that takes care of the basic assembly so far. All right, put that on there like that. Okay, that's on there. Got one more, actually two more little details, and they're just peripheral. Oh, this is cool. This is a pitot tube. It screws in place. You don't have to glue it or pressure it in. It actually screws in place. So that is awesome. Now it kind of goes, okay, one thing you pay attention, goes in kind of a, it's going to visually look like an angle, but it's not actually going an angle. It actually runs straight. So when you're all done, that should look, see, look at that, against the white of the manual. See the very, very bottom of the screen, the black red tip of the, right down there at the bottom? See how it runs parallel with that red graphic, the pitot tube? Okay. All right, we gotta turn it over. And that's nice that that just screws in and screws out. That makes that's a very nice touch. And the last thing before the radio setup is the antenna. And you don't glue that in either. It's the actual, it just pressures back in backwards like that. All right, I love them hinges. All right, well, folks, well, hold on, let's slide our tanks on. Okay, I wonder if they're labeled left, so that would be this one here. Now, if I'm looking up, yeah, this would be right, so it's the other one. Okay. And see, it just keys in like a lot of these missiles do. It's obvious how it goes in. Just pushes back. Okay. They look identical, so I really don't know why right to left. But there is the basic assembly of the FMS Skyblazer F-86. And I tell you what, that is one beautiful plane. Hobby Zone, thank you so much for sending this out to me. Our next video will be radio setup. That was the basic assembly. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And this is Fat Guy Flyers RC coming to the hobby, coming from the man game. Thank you, Hobby Zone. And don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends, and then cool looking jets. Bye. I have to turn that off here now.